Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube live once again. And I'm super happy to be here to show you something rather exciting, and but also not only that, I just want to talk about your dream camera. This is the topic of the day, right? And I cannot wait to hear your thoughts, and also trying to feedback from some of the comments that I received from the YouTube community page. I think it's super cool, you know, to see some of you guys dream camera, so to speak, or setup. So let's say some hi to you guys as well first. And hello Victor and Patrick, George Bacon from New England, hello, and Peter, hello there again, and Xavier, Pixi, Morgan, 15,000 day crisis, ZYC. So from Singapore, and we went hello there again. So I'm gonna wait for a few more people to say hi before I start the stream, and but I just want to give you a few thing about the intro video that I showed you just now. You know, if a lot of people always thought that, you know, when you want to make videos using Micro Four Thirds system, you either go for Blackmagic or Panasonic cameras, because obviously they are more known in the video production world. That is very true, because they have built the reputation on filmmaking. But the intro video, the entire intro video you just saw, was completely shot with the EM1 Mark II and the EM1X. And it shows you that it is very capable. And I know if you go online these days, not many people are making film with the Olympus kits, but I can tell you that I actually use Olympus kit to make my videos, and subsequently I get paid for that. So it's a professional job that I do, not only on my photography side, but also filmmaking. So it is a capable system. I may not have the same kind of let's say flexibility in terms of bit rates and things like that compared to slightly more video-centric camera systems out there. But if you know what you're doing, like I mentioned, like in photography, you can capture some really cool stuff. Especially you have one of the best stabilizations in the world. You see some of the footage there is super stable. It's completely handheld. Apart from 2 shots in the film there is using a gimbal, because I needed to get super low to the floor to get the guys walking from away from me. So that is the only few shots that I use a gimbal. But for the rest, it's completely handheld, and you can't really tell. It's really, really cool, right? So it's excellent stuff, and I always like to show you guys what Olympus kits can actually do, not only just on the photography side, which you all truly know well enough that it is a very capable system for photography, but for filmmaking, it's also really, really good, especially on the EM1 series, because now you got the OM log 400 log file. You can grade the footage afterward. It has the C4K now, and which is super high bit rate. I think it's actually very good. But even that is, you know, the footage you just saw is actually filmed in 1080. So I didn't film in 4K, so it's actually crystal clear. It feels very, very sharp. It's fairly high quality. So you haven't tried it, you know, maybe give it a go. You know, some of you guys may use Panasonic gears, but if you never tried it and to film using a Olympus camera, it could be quite refreshing as well. Okay, just to see, say hi for a few more as well. I know I just saw some of you guys just joined. First, Footprint Photography is here. Marsha is here. Mark, hello. And Johnny, Hans, Brew. Sorry if I can't pronounce your name properly. And hi, Heidi. Hello, Heidi. Andrea and Mark. Robert. Fantastic, fantastic. And Robert actually did say that you get better tracking and better low light. You know, in terms of tracking, I actually do agree, especially in the Micro Four Thirds world. Olympus camera has one of the best autofocusing system now, not only just for stills and top of videos, because the continuous focus on the Micro Four Thirds world, Olympus I think is now the best. And definitely, you know, like you can see that I'm using the EM1X at the moment. It's completely automated. It's tracking my faces really nicely. You know, I never have to touch the camera. I just switch it on and let it run. So that is really good. And also, oh, hello Sam and Prasant. And Johnny, Gary, oh, just a few more people joining. Excellent stuff. Oh, like this regular communities that we're going on now. I'm super pumped about this. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing I want to say is just to, first of all, I need to say big thank you for you know, all the support that I have received, and all of you guys that's becoming my regulars here since about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I think that we have generated or built together a very nice and supportive environment for all the photographers and creatives out there. And you know, I know majority of you using Micro Four Third gears, but we also welcome other photographers and creatives who are using other gears. You know, and because we, like I mentioned so many times in this particular stream, is that we are all creatives, regardless of brand and things like that. We want to inspire each other using our skills and our creativities for both photos and videos. I think this is the best way to get our, you know, to get us going, right? You know, just to make sure that we can become a better photographer, be a better creative, better filmmakers in the future. Without inspiring each other, you know, the world's just gonna stop. You know, I don't like that. And I like to keep moving forward. And the way to do it is that I inspire you, you inspire me. I want to see your great photo, you see my great photo, and that's how we improve, how we move into the future to become the best in the world. So we have this great community here. So we have this Red 35 family here. Now that's cool. Excellent. Hello, Leith and Gilbert, Robin, just say hi, few more hi before I start talking about the Dream camera today. The 1957 Plateau, Christian, hello. So, okay, I do have a unique setup today before I start it. I have a few cameras in front of me, and I also have a little bit of a different setup there. I do have a wireless thing set up, so let me just show you exactly what I mean by wireless. So usually when I do streaming, I just basically hardwire my EM1X to my laptop here, so everything just have a single wire and it's pumped through this particular streaming software. You can see what's going on, just basically me talking to the camera. But I do have another thing here. You can see that it's completely different because I have the wireless streaming set here. I kind of mentioned it in like probably about 2 weeks ago. I usually use this system to demonstrate outside, you know, what I can achieve with the Olympus system, and also what I can show you through the viewfinder, because you can see exactly what the sensor sees through the wireless system. It's really cool. But today I'm not going to do that because outside is wet, it's raining, so I'm not going to go outside. But inside I can just kind of demonstrate what you can do with this particular setup here. So you got a wireless transmitter here. It's sent through a receiver in my computer, also hooked up via the HDMI to my laptop, so I can actually have a second angle. So if I switch on to my second cam, you can see exactly what I mean. Yeah, there you go. So this is exactly the thing that I'm doing right now, and you can see that I have. Oh, I actually turn on the manual focus, so now it's an autofocus now, so I'm gonna just bring it up a little bit so you can see the camera. So that's my streaming setup at the moment. You can see everything hooked through. I've got the key light there, and then I'm gonna come down, and so this is my streaming set. Everybody seems to be wondering what I'm doing with my stream set. So very straightforward here, and the single wire, you can see about the single wire there is coming out from the side of the camera and then all the way hooking up to my laptop, right? Okay, so it's very straightforward stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to use this setup. I can actually do it myself, so look, you can see. Right, and so let me go back to my normal camera. I'll just put this wireless camera down, and I can show you what I want to show you today, and as well. So okay, there we go. I got my camera rested on my lovely tripod. This is my lovely tripod. So yeah, I have to show you the tripod because this tripod is my collected item tripod kind of thing, but I do use it. So this is the Gitso 100-year special tripod. I don't know if you've seen this. So right, ooh, lovely, sexy thing, isn't it? I mean, you even got the text here, and I don't know if you can see that. Nope, can't quite see it. And you probably can just about see it. It says 100-year special edition. Each one got a number, and so. But I'm not quite one of those collectors who just never use the gears. When I do buy something, I will use it. So there you go. Oh, I'm trying to get the camera back to my tripod. Okay, all done. So thank you very much for seeing my little demonstration on the wireless system and also my lovely tripod there. And let's get back to our Dream camera. So 2 days ago, I posted a community post asking about what would be your dream cameras in the Olympus world. The reason I want to see it is that how you view a camera. And that is very important because I want to understand your mindset. And like I said, this particular stream is more about building you up as a better photographer and also seeing how your needs are and trying to get you understand your particular needs in photography terms, so you know what gear you should be buying, or hopefully something that you may want to inspire to do in the future. So it's a very important step, you know, to understand about gear. So when I say about dream camera, not so much about you know, getting the latest and the best or with the best features or whatever, you know, and everyone can dream about something, such as you know, if you're into automotive, you know, cars, you know, people might want a Bentley, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and that this sort of thing. You know, this is why they call it dream cars, because people kind of, not normal people can reach out for it and buy it, you know, just like that. You know, you can't really do that. So it's something that probably happening in dream world. But in camera world, it's probably slightly different, because relatively more affordable. Even if you talk about 10 grand camera, I mean, you can probably take out a loan to get the camera, right? You know, it's in terms of buying it, purchasing it. So it's not kind of something that you cannot reach. So you can still afford it if you really, really want it. But however, you know, it's not something that I would suggest people would to do, you know, and like last week's stream, I talked about people is better off, you know, if you are on the budget, you know, people better off getting a entry-level cameras and spend more money on getting better lenses, and also to go traveling, to actually see the world. You know, I think it's actually better investment than getting the latest body and get a cheapo lens and have no money left to do any travel. You know, I would work the other way around. I would just start up with a cheap body, you know, relatively good lens, and go travel. So like you're going to work out the budget there and to do that. So today's subject about dream camera is that I want you to realize what would be a camera that that means the most to you when it comes to satisfying your needs, and that is that point today. So. And I know, like, I have a few cameras here. I mean, of course, my EM5 Mark III. I have the Pen F. I even have a 15-year-old, actually no, 16-year-old now, 16-year-old bridge camera from Canon. This is the Pro one. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this camera because it's quite special later on. So I have all these cameras here, and they all mean something to me. So I just want to highlight to you guys. I want to also see that what what you said in my community post, because it's actually very interesting. So I saw some of the answers. Like I said, it's not just about modern cameras. It's also about cameras that you used in the past. It could be something very inspiring. I saw some people already mentioning about OM1, you know, the original OM film camera, and that is a classic. So you know, I have no doubt why that would be one of the dream cameras, because to me that is a very special thing as well. And of course, I use my EM1X filming now, and also the EM1 Mark III for that streaming thing that I just showed you. So I've got about 5 cameras here, which is kind of nuts actually. And so yeah, let's get crack on with the dream camera thing. Oh, hello, Harry. Just saw your message just popped up here. Merit, great stuff here. And oh, Hart is just coming by. Oh no, hang on. Who's buying? Oh, Rambling Talk is buying. All right, okay, never mind. Hi and buy. Okay, let me go to the community page, and I want to show you and. Exactly what's going on with the community. Where is the community page gone? So 1 second, I am trying to find that. I had it open, but somehow it disappeared. So I just need to reopen that page so I can see some of your comments here. Okay, right, I got it right here in front of me now. Let's go through you know, one by one. There's no particular order. I'm just going to read through from top to bottom. So first of all, Paula. Hello, Paula, if you're here. And I'm happy with my EM1 Mark II. The only thing I wish is a battery charger when I can be powered from USB, and that would make quite a difference to my multi-day off-grid wildlife trips. Woo, wildlife! I would love to go for a safari, but I guess, you know. She highlighted, you know, her wishes. Basically, she is completely happy with the, first of all, EM1 Mark II, which go for the, obviously the ruggedness, the weather seal, the performance side of it is probably completely satisfying what she needs as a wildlife photographer. And I do agree from her perspective that, you know, it would be good to have a USB charging, especially if you are, let's say, going camping and accessing AC power can be a problem in a lot of the places, and you really want to be able to maybe use some sort of portable power bank to be able to charge up your cameras during transit. And it's a very important things in today's photography now. Although having said that, we kind of lived through it, in the past when we don't have that access, we don't have that option of USB charging. In as recent as 2-3 years ago, that not many camera has USB charging. So I guess we are kind of lucky these days. And but if something that you quite like in terms of EM1 Mark II performances, and maybe in a couple of years time, maybe even in a few months time, you may want to upgrade to the EM1 Mark III because it does have USB-C charging together with equal if not better AF performance compared to the Mark II. It will be equally rugged, so you can use it on the wildlife trip. But that is cool. That would be, this is your dream camera, and I do agree also because the EM1 Mark II is the camera that changed me. And that is the camera that drives me from full frame to the Olympus to the Micro Four Thirds platform, and which is something I believe is a very special camera, and it does stand a very, very important status in my kind of collections here, and I do rave about the Mark II all the time, and it still is a very, very cool camera. So second is Roman. Hello Roman, and your dream camera is the Pen F. Woohoo! Yeah, you're up my street there, mate. So this is the Pen F, of course. I do love the Pen F. So this, I would say this is my favorite camera, but it's not my dream camera, and because obviously to be my dream camera, to be something that would satisfy for everything that I do these days. Unfortunately, because I'm a hybrid now, so I do shoot both videos and stills. So as much as I like this camera, it's my favorite still camera, it's not my video camera. It can't be my video camera. So for that, I will have to go for either the EM1 Mark III or the EM1 X4 Video Works. So that means that it's not really my dream cameras as such at this moment in time, and I needed something basically to do everything that I command the camera to do in both videos and stills. But for most of you are shooting primarily stills, and I can totally see the appeal. And like I said so many times, in terms of still photography, I even received a comment not so long ago, I think yesterday or the day before, asking me whether the Pen F is still worth getting in 2020. And I can wholeheartedly recommend that, yes, still get it while you can. I mean, whether you're going to get brand new or used, the Pen F is definitely one hell of a still cameras. I don't care what people say about the AF performances. You really can't compare this compared to the latest hybrid AF system on the Olympus. But look, it will be more than sufficient for 95–99% of the application you do on a daily basis. And I don't see any deficiency of using this system compared to any modern day latest 2020 models. As long as you are a photographer, you know exactly where to see the lights, where to do the compositions. I don't see the deficiencies there. You still have a very good colors, especially the mono side of it is really amazing. So this is a camera. That's it. This is a camera. So thank you for sharing that, Roman. And Mark, first photography, and I think EM1 Mark II will be a classic. At the time of launch, it had features that other manufacturers are still trying to catch with. I totally agree. The EM1 Mark II is a revolutionary camera when it was first launched in 2016. End of 2016, I think. I can't remember the timeline now. And so it was really advanced camera. And like I said, remember I did a poll asking all of you which one would be your most favorite cameras. And so obviously EM1 Mark II came first, remember? So like it shows the status the EM1 Mark II has within the Olympus world, not only within the Olympus world, but within the Micro Four Thirds bubble. It shows how significant the camera really is, and it's still commanding a lot of respect from a lot of photographers out there, regardless of genre. Whether it could be street and whether it's going to be stills, actions, safari, wildlife safari, and macro photographers. It's a very, very good camera with a set of tools that would satisfy a lot of different type of photographers out there. So it's a cracking cameras, and I do genuinely love that. The EM1 Mark III is more of an update to the Mark II by including certain features which are useful. But I think in terms of how revolutionary it is, the EM1 Mark II definitely trumps, you know, the Mark III in terms of how advanced it is compared to the rest of the industry. So this is something I think the Mark II will remain a classic, remain a very capable camera. Even if you ask me whether to buy a Mark II these days, I would say, yeah, go ahead, buy the Mark II. It's a phenomenal camera, and that is why it's still selling alongside the Mark III, because it's a cool, genuinely, really wicked camera. And now the next one is Hector, and you are saying my favorite camera will be something like the Pen F with a monochrome sensor, no distracting screen from the back, much like the Leica monochrome. And I love the dedicated compensation dial in the Pen F as much as the provision of the threaded cable release. 16 megapixels is enough for my needs and should give better ISO performance than 20 megapixel. You are very specific, but I like that. I do really like that, Hector. So thank you for contributing this things here. So what he's suggesting here is not something that we currently have in the Micro Four Thirds arena, because he's looking for a monochrome a camera, which is very, very different. Some of you may not be familiar with Leica cameras. Is that they do produce a camera that should only black and white. So the sensor has the RGB array completely taken off from the sensor. So you only see the luminant value. So it's going to be white, grey and black. So it's only the three things, and obviously the combination behind it. And so it's completely monochrome. You cannot change it. So it's a very different architecture. It's purely for those who truly appreciate and work with black and white photography only. But I can tell you that it's a phenomenal camera, and I can see the appeal, you know, judging by the advancement or the benefit from having a monochrome sensor compared to a let's say a color sensor. First of all, like what he mentioned already, the ISO performance will improve because you will get less noise, only because you don't see the color noise that you usually experience and witness in the color array over, like, let's say 1600 ISO. So in the monochrome, you don't see that much. You will see some more like an organic grain, like the old film cameras. So it's a very different beast altogether. I do like the monochrome a lot. I use monochrome, and it would be nice maybe to have a Pen F with a monochrome sensor. That would be pretty cool. So what he's suggesting is something that he wants, and that would be his dream camera. And he also mentioned something that I think very interesting. He said 16 megapixel is enough for his needs. And I do genuinely appreciate that. You know, just for saying that, that means that you completely understand your photography. And how many times and when I say to people, you know, like, do you need 40 megapixel? Do you need more than 20? Do you need this and do you need that? And a lot of people say, oh yeah, I like this and that, you know, but a lot of the time I find that a lot of photographers don't understand exactly what they need. They only see that bigger number is better, you know, and because that's what they've been told by the marketing people, right? And because nowadays it's all about megapixel rates. People are overemphasizing the importance of megapixels. So the higher the number is always kind of like the better, the king, the holy grail of photography. And so it's good to see people are realizing exactly what they need for the photography. So if someone said that 16 megapixels enough for me, and that's it. You know, that is really good. I really like that comment there. And George, and hello George, I know you're here. I saw your comment earlier from New England. You left a comment as well. So I would like Olympus to build a version of the Panasonic G9, a Micro Four Thirds camera with a great balance of video and still photography. I'll repair the face detect autofocus and 20 to 24 megapixel sensor with 2 high-speed card slot in a metal body for strength. The camera would have a switch on the front to switch all the camera settings from still to video and back, and custom mode to be set for still or video. It could be saved to a SD card. Oh my goodness. And wow, it's very specific, but again, good, because you know exactly what you want, and I like that too. I think actually, you know what, I think the G9 is more like the copy of the E1 Mark II, to be quite frank. But I do agree the G9 did receive a really significant firmware update to make it more video capable, and which is something I didn't expect Panasonic would do, because they already have the GH5, which is more the video centric, but the firmware did give the G9 a lot more capabilities. It's almost the same as the GH5, less some of the compression ratios and things like that, but overall, the G9 suddenly became a video beast because of that firmware update. Yeah, it's a great camera. You know, like I said, you know, the Panasonic G9, GX5, EM1 Mark II, EM1X, these are great cameras. None of them I would say shit, to be quite frank. They're all genuinely really great cameras there. You can do a lot with these cameras, but it really depends on what sort of thing you do, what sort of thing you need, and you seem to know exactly what you want, and that is pretty cool. You know, I think the EM1 Mark II would definitely trump over the G9 is the autofocus, definitely for sure, especially after firmware 3.0, and the now face detect autofocus works in the video side, so now it's got really fantastic tracking, and which didn't happen before. It's definitely still going to be way better than the G9, because G9 has these depth DPD, is it depth to focus kind of thing, the autofocusing system, which kind of got this jitters, which I really hate about this jitter. I've used it, you know, and as a still camera, it's pretty cool. But for videos, it's definitely not something I would use for filming myself, for instance. And I know I can set it for menu focus and do things like that. And but a lot of the cases, if I want to, let's say, showcase, you know, some product right in front of the camera, and I just want to switch it back, and I can't really do that smoothly. It's just gonna have this jitter going on, and I don't really like that. But anyway, other than that, it's pretty cool. And you also said about 20 to 24 megapixel is enough for you, and that's another thing is good. So, and here it's got, the next one is mine is the EM1X. I have the final replacement for my beloved E5, and the EM1X is a beast. And I actually saw quite a few EM1X as well in the comment here, so I'm going to group them together because the team said about EM1X, and on also about EM1X. So these are all your dream cameras, and WeWat also you like the EM1X as well. Yeah, cool, pretty good stuff here. So quite a few EM1X. I like it. I do like the EM1X myself. I do use it for work just because how well built it is. You know, it's just a freaking tank. You know, it just cannot be destroyed. Full stop. It's a really cool camera for professional people. I think for people who travel a lot, who really needed the portability side of it, the EM1X is not their camera, and that's for sure. But for people who are working in the field, who's all constantly subject to really hostile environments, environmental elements, different weathers, different like dusty environments and kind of thing, the EM1X will not disappoint you. The weather seal in this thing is just another level, you know, I can tell you that. Even though I haven't swum with that thing, but I'm pretty sure it probably will survive a dip, and that's for sure. I've seen some YouTube videos, people were dunking the EM1X into a tank and bring it back up. It still works. That's phenomenal, right? And it just, I think it's pretty cool. So foil painter, and your dream camera is the OM1, and like I said, yes, I agree with you, and this is something that I believe as a photographer, you really don't need anything more than something you can set apertures, ISO. And in film days, you can't set ISO, so you know you're stuck with the film speed that you put into the camera. So you are basically happy with whatever you got. So that is pretty cool. So OM mechanical camera, perfect, lovely, beautiful. I think one of the most beautiful camera ever created. It's just the look of it, it's just amazing, and how compact it is. Together with all the OM lenses, I think they are just a phenomenal system to work with. It's just really freaking good. So Gabriel, your dream camera is a new EM10. He's talking about new EM10, so it's a future camera now. A new EM10 with 20 megapixel, a microphone port, fully articulated screen, Bluetooth, face detection, USB charging, compatibility with the webcam app, and in other words, an EM5 mini. Right? Okay. Two things I want to say about this is it will be cool to have that camera. Yeah, I can tell you that it will be really cool to have an EM10 with everything that you just mentioned there. But on the flip side, it is basically an EM5 you're talking about, and in that, because of that, I doubt it that the Olympus would produce such a camera, because it's just basically an EM5 minus the weather seal that because you didn't mention about weather seal there. So that means that they have identical cameras there, and I don't think they can draw the line as a entry-level camera to a enthusiast or semi-pro camera. They can't really do that. So unlikely to do that. If you really like these sort of features, I think they will have to force you to get the EM5 instead of EM10. But it's a good idea though. It's pretty good. And okay, that's pretty good. Okay, let's see if another thing here. Okay, T-Tile and you are EM1 Mark III. I would like to see a Mark IV with minimum 24 back-size illuminated news sensor, 4K 60, 10-bit 422 video. Oh, and obviously you're shooting videos, right? Okay, I think it's not an unfair comment there, and I think there's a lot of people would like to see. There are two things there that you mentioned. First of all, is a news sensor, and second is the video spec being bumped up to 60 frames per second. And I think that Olympus at some point will need this, and in order to, let's say, look into the future. And this is obviously something that we can all hope for in the future developments of Olympus. And I don't personally know the current roadmap in terms of internal technology developments. And so it will be quite cool to have a brand new sensor. Whether it's going to be high resolution or not, it will always be good to have a new sensor, right? And the video spec, definitely, I think it will be good to at least bump up a little bit so that is more in line with what the competitors currently have. That will be very, very good for, especially for a lot of filmmakers out there, because 60 frames per second is not essential, but it's good to have just to broaden out a little bit more creativity, that you can do half speed slow-mo, and then you can also you know, have a slightly more smoother footage if you need to have that. But for me, I still shoot everything more cinematic, so I still shoot the 24 frames per second regardless. But it would be good to have, you know, some options, right? I think, you know, you never say no to options when it comes to that. But talking about sensor, that's another thing I want to bring to your attention, actually, that you may be interested, but I'm certainly very excited about this. Right, I need to show you this right now because I need to share my screen. So let me just go to the other tab there. Right, how many of you have heard about the Sharp 8K videos? And sorry, 8K video cameras. A certainly very interesting prospect. The Sharp actually announced an 8K Micro Four Third camera last year at TPS, around about TPS time actually. I do not sorry, I cannot remember exactly what time or when they announced the 8K video cameras, but around about the TPS time. And if you guys know, let me know and correct me. So that was a good thing. A good thing because this is the first time for a number of years we heard a new sensor, just because we talk about sensor there. And Sharp were announcing an 8K camera. To be able to capture 8K video footage, you will need a 33 megapixel sensor, or roundabout. In that case, they are suggesting a brand new sensor at much higher resolution. So this is something that is exciting. It's very something that I believe a lot of people may be keen to learn more about. But unfortunately, after the announcement, and Sharp just went all quiet, all of a sudden, it just kind of disappeared. So this is something that I didn't expect. I thought that, oh, maybe you know, Sharp decided not to continue the development of the camera, or something happened internally, maybe something that they're just not too keen on doing after all. But somehow, last week, to my surprise, they have come back. And this time, they show a CG image with that 8K camera. Woo! I'm going to show you that right now. And this is something that I think that would definitely excite a lot of people there. And especially myself, who are very keen to learn a little bit more about new technology within the Micro Four Third world. And like I mentioned before, remember, it's good to have competitions. It's also good to have new technology being pushing the envelope further. And we've seen full frame world doing that, and now Micro Four Third is starting to happen. And Sharp is one of the pioneers now in terms of pushing sensor resolutions and also higher resolution video capabilities. So I'm going to show you a screen sharing here so you can see exactly what's going on. And so let me just shrink myself down a little bit. So this is the website. This is the website of Sharp from Japan. Right, you can't probably quite see it much at the moment, but I'm going to scroll it down a little bit so you can see exactly what it is. So this page in Sharp is dedicated for 8K compatible products. So whether it's going to be camera, whether it's going to be TV, whether it's going to be receivers, everything is 8K compatible. So you can see that I know unless you guys can read Japanese, so you can see kind of here. First of all is at the 8K 70-inch TV. So we all know about 8K TV. They have it in CES already since last year. There are a lot of companies are showcasing it. So it's nothing special. We've seen it. We also see some of the demos already at 8K TV, right? And there are obviously other things as well. And this is the 8K transmitter, for broadcasting use. For satellite, and this is the commercial 8K capable broadcasting or filmmaking camera. So these are commercial stuff. These are not your day-to-day stuff. So this one, we know these things exist already because there are a lot of filmmakers already using 8K for filming their documentaries and stuff like that. So these things already there, for a couple of years already. But if you keep scrolling down, and you're starting to see this page here. So this section, and this section is all about consumer stuff here. So you got the normal TV, 8K capable TV here, and you have the 8K compatible 5G phone, which is also, we see this from Samsung already. And another kind of 5G modem kind of thing, and another satellite receiver. But there you go, something is going to happen now. There we go. Hey! This is the camera. This is the 8K Micro Four Third camera. In the description, it says the smallest 8K video cameras ever. And the little bracket word saying here, it actually says in development. Right, this is what excites me a lot and really find it fascinating because they've come back after all the quietness that they've gone through for the last 8 or 9 months of no news, nothing, and now they actually come back with a mock-up, digital mock-up, and also, if you guys notice what lens is actually on the camera, it's the 12-100 f4 Pro. So it's actually pretty cool. That is probably something that they're already testing. That's why they use it as an image. And so, to me, this could be the future of Micro Four Third. And a 33 megapixel sensor, and capable of using 8K. I would say 8K 30p, and I don't care about bitrate at the moment. It's a 8K camera, 33 megapixel. I don't care whether it can shoot past ISO 800 at the moment. I don't care. But this is the early stages of development there. But it's certainly very exciting when it comes to technology, because this is a breakthrough. As you know, that we all kind of stuck within the 20 megapixel resolution for quite a number of years now, and it's really good to see a jump, from 20 to 33, and it's an 8K. Jump from 4K to 8K is a big jump, and so it's interesting. It's very interesting. You guys, if you're from the Panasonic world, you probably heard the rumors about the GH6, that could potentially do 8K and also make and 6K videos and 4K slow motion and things like that. So possibly, but so far Panasonic hasn't actually tell you anything about the upcoming GH6 or any sort of specifications, whether you can actually shoot 8K or not. Definitely no news there. So Sharp is definitely one of the first cameras out in the world for consumers. Aside from Canon's upcoming R camera can shoot 8K, they are also the second camera that is capable of doing 8K videos and releasing for consumers, not for professionals. Apparently, this a camera will have some sort of expected prices around about $2,000 to $3,000. I know it sounds expensive, but don't forget that this is the 8K video cameras. It's not like something that you would do on a daily basis. Like I mentioned when I talked about the Canon R5 and R6, I personally would not shoot 8K even if I have it, because it just would completely paralyze my system. I don't think my computer can handle 8K. Even if it can, I don't think I can edit very well, just because it would be very choppy. It's just going to be a nightmare to edit, unless I have the backend to support 8K video productions at the moment. I wouldn't do it. And also, majority of my clients simply don't need 8K. They're still asking me for 720 and 1080. They don't need 4K either. So it will be an overkill. But it's nice to see a technology advancement there and starting to push the envelope. And this is something I personally think is pretty awesome. And what do you guys think about the 8K videos from Sharp? And of course, it's a Micro Four Third camera, right? You can see the Olympus lens there, the 12-100 f4 is definitely very encouraging in And that's why I'm excited about. Whether it's going to be for Panasonic, Olympus, I don't know. I don't really have any ideas when any of the companies are going to employ new sensors, but at least I know it exists in the Micro Four Thirds world, and that's what matters. So that is cool. That is very interesting indeed. So before I jump into the next point, let's see what else has been talked about in the comment sections, and see if I can catch any of you guys. Oh, hello, Burana. I just see your message there, and Christo. Hello, Christo. Okay, Dale. Hello there. Okay, I just go all the way back up to see if I missed any sort of comments that while I was talking. I talk a lot as usual. And okay. And Randy, hello. I think I just read your comment about the EM1X. That's your camera, right? You love the EM1X, Randy. It's a phenomenal camera, and hope you enjoyed it, because you just purchased it, really. Let me know how you get on with the camera. And like I said, Randy messaged me as well. So all of you guys are very welcome to message me. You can email me. You can find me on Facebook. The social link is where is it? Up here. You can see all my social there, my Instagram, my Twitter, my website, my Facebook is just simply Jimmy Cheng 23. You can just type in Jimmy Cheng. I'm very easy to Google, actually, so you can just find me there very easily. So you're very welcome to message me. If I have time, I'll reply. I'm just a normal guy here. I just trying to help to help you make your decision, also help you improve your photography. And there's nothing happier than me sharing knowledge, and I don't really hold back anything. If you want to ask me anything, if I can, I will definitely help you out there. So it's great stuff there. So let's see if I have any other thing here. So Stephen, hello Stephen. E1 Micro Four Thirds with all the inside of the EM1 Mark III and a big hybrid EVF optical finder and a 3.5-inch screen. Whoa, you want to go back to the big massive beast of E1? Obviously that's your preference there, and I personally prefer a slimmer body of the Micro Four Thirds. Maybe you're much bigger and taller than me, and you have a big hand. I think that's probably why you may not like the slimmer body, and that's also depending on personal preferences. I do notice some people don't like the ergonomic of the Micro Four Thirds simply because it's just too small for them, but I have a small hand, and in general, so I'm quite happy even with the EM5 and the Pen F. But I'm happy with the size of it. Bigger cameras, the EM1X, are still happy, just because the superbly shaped grip is just fantastic there. Right, okay. The Dream camera, oh, that's what you're following on there. 12-100 attached, and this final camera that replaced the E5. Fantastic. Oh, you had the 12-60. That's a phenomenal lens, that is. All right, you would like to have the Pen F2 next to my EM1 Mark II, EM1 Mark III, and my GX9 for street. You have a collection there, mate. Yeah, obviously we talk about past, present, and future, right? If a dream camera will be a Pen F2, and that would be cool. I think if a Pen F2 does come eventually, if it does come, I'm hoping it would, and obviously I have no idea whether it would come or not. The Pen F2 would be cool if it has the EM1 Mark III's gut, all the AF system and things like that, and weather seal. Yes, that would be my dream camera. I can guarantee that, because I do like the form factor of the Pen F. It's definitely very slim, very compact. That means I can travel, do discrete shooting, and because of if it has the same gut as the EM1 Mark III, that means it can do videos very well, and that would be my workhorse. I guarantee that. That would be really awesome. I do agree with you. So if someday, somehow, the dream realized, and then Olympus does produce a Pen F2 with everything that I wish for, coming from the EM1 Mark III, yep, I will sell my EM1X, I will sell my EM1 Mark III, and just go for the Pen F2. That will be it. And let's go for Pixi. Hello there. I was a Nikon shooter, And but then the cancer came. Oh, sorry about that. And had to sell everything. Contact several camera companies, and only Olympus showed goodwill and sold me a camera and lenses at half price. Oh, how nice were they? That's fantastic. First of all, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're feeling better now. And but it's really happy you get hold of Olympus and they are willing to do something, because I do notice that Olympus people in general are very, very good. They are actually human. They're not you know, some marketing people who or hard sell people just to try to sell you cameras and things like that. They are a whole bunch of lovely people there. I don't know if you I'm not entirely sure about your country, but in the UK at least, the Olympus UK team has been doing a phenomenal job since the lockdown in the UK. They're running free courses, free demos, and free teaching through their Facebook page. Everything is free, you know, and they don't even restrict it to people using Olympus gears, because it's all about like pretty much what I do here, and we don't really care which brand or where you come from, and as long as you're a photographer, you want to get inspired with the thing that we do. That's what they did. They have a lot of these phenomenal courses from different ambassadors, different technicians there, showing you exactly how to create really creative stuff, and yeah, there's something. You can't argue with that, you know, how good they are. You can ask them questions live, you can send them messages, they answer you back. They are genuine human, lovely human beings. So for that, I think, you know, they deserve a big praise of what they do since the lockdown, and they continue to do it. It's really phenomenal, and it shows, you know, just what you said here. They are willing to do something, and it's just I think they are just great people. And since then, I have utmost respect for Olympus, a so sensitive company. And yes, they are very, very good people. Merritt, hello. I bought the EM5 Mark III and honestly perfect for me and what I need in the camera. Perfect it is. EM5 has always been one of my favorite in the range, because I started with the Mark 1, then I upgraded to Mark 2, and then I have the Mark 3 now. And I just think it's a really cool and capable cameras. But given a choice, like I said, given a choice, if I have the EM5 Mark III performance on the Pen F, I would choose the Pen F. But because at this moment in time, the EM5 Mark III outperforms the Pen F technologically, because it shoots better video, and I have the EM5 Mark III more. But ultimately, if I'm just purely going out for street shoot, the Pen F is always with me. Peter, I like the Pen F, but it was too expensive for what it is. Yeah, a lot of people argue it's quite costly for the Pen F, but I personally don't think it is, because of how they developed the camera. But I do agree it's more costly than the EM5, because essentially what it's based on. And but look, you pay for that premium look. And I know, just joking aside, I mean, I do understand what you're saying. It is quite expensive. That's why I didn't get it when it first came out, and I do find it quite expensive even for me. And I waited for a couple of years, and I got it being a bit cheaper. So but I'm not going to let it go now. I'm just going to hang on to it until the end of the world. So this is going to be like my treasured camera, and that's for sure. That's for sure. Right, okay, next one here, and my dream camera is a full frame made by Olympus with a fixed lens, Miss Bill Morrison, and in a body that looks exactly the OM1. Have a great IBIS and EVF, no video, I pay any price. Whoa, really? I feed that back to Olympus now. But as you know, they already said they are committed to Micro Four Thirds. So they're not going to change their course. However, obviously, I cannot speak on behalf of them in that regards. You know, I'm not the senior management. I don't make the strategic direction for the company. And now they have joined up with GIP, so it's going to be different. So I don't know how different it would be, whether it's going to affect the decisions in the future, whether they are going to eventually produce something that you wish for. Nobody knows, but just have to you know, just keep hoping. Maybe it will come true. But I think Micro Four Thirds is a platform, and I think Micro Four Thirds really is something that not many people appreciate until they are in the boat and they're starting to use the system, use the kit, and do the photography, and then they realize that how good it is as a system, you know. And like I always said as well, you know, there are pros and cons with different system regardless how you look at it. You know, full frame has its benefit, so as APS-C, medium format, and micro four thirds. We all deserve a place within the industry because we do different things. We are different photographers out there, have different needs, and micro four thirds satisfy certain needs, and that's it. And you can see how happy we are as a micro four thirds photographer, and I don't see that being kind of going away anytime soon. We are all happy as being creative with our cameras. I think that is something we should be very proud of as a community. So Sparks, I actually just picked up a NEOM 10 Mark III with a couple of months back and starting out. Oh, congratulations and thank you, and also welcome joining our micro four thirds platform, and of course Olympus family as well. Excellent stuff. And Stephen Tam, and oh, you're answering people, and Dale is saying the Pen F2 with USB-C weatherproofing. I'm not asking a lot. I think I'm probably agree with you, Dale, as that would probably quite nice to have. Just that it would be quite enough for me. Okay, let me just scroll through a little bit down there, and how about a Christian? Christian is asking, how about a version that reminds remnant of the Samsung NX1 and NX10, ahead of its time, and includes cellular possibility? Right. I'm not so sure about the cellular possibility. I mean, I see your point. And it's almost like a big giant smartphone with a proper camera sensor and a lens attached to it. That's what it is. They are producing something similar, and I think a lot of companies did try to do something similar. Even Olympus, you know, in one of the cameras on the list was the Olympus Air A01. Do you remember that camera? That basically is a micro four thirds sensor base that can clamp onto a phone. You have to use an app to control it, and whatever, you know, a lot of people saw it as a gimmick at the time, and I actually like that camera. I mean, it's a shame that, you know, at the time I wasn't an Olympus guy. I didn't know much about Olympus. I only heard about that thing. I never really tried it. But now I look back, I really want to get hold of one, and I think it's actually quite a cool thing to have, because you can hook up to and simply use the smartphone screen as your viewfinder, and you can just, because it's operating via Bluetooth, you can just reposition the lens anywhere you wish, and I think it's pretty cool. And I know not just Olympus did that. Sony also did something similar at the time, but obviously their version is not interchangeable lens system. It's simply a fixed lens system, but it's a similar idea. You can climb onto your phone and do things. But Olympus was one step further. It's actually a proper micro four thirds camera. You can change lenses on, and imagine something that clamp onto your phone, and then you can slap on a 100 to 400 a lens on it. It's just like, oh, you finally, I can capture something properly with the phone. And yeah, it is something phenomenal. I would like that. And I would like to see an upgraded version of that. Imagine that would be pretty cool, right? And that would be fun. And Ken, hello there. I like to shoot street and travel, so I went with the EM5 Mark III. Love it. Wish it still have the metal though. But second dream would be a small fixed 17mm like the Q2 or the X100. Interesting, Ken. Very interesting thing. I think some people did suggest it before in my previous stream about this particular setup that you want. It's just a fixed lens camera. It's ideally it would be more compact because it's fixed lens. You don't need the mount there, and the flange distance can be extremely narrow, so you can create something really slim, super slim, and that would be something, right? That would be something really cool. I'm not entirely sure whether Olympus would do that. You know, I actually do hope they would, because that would be a sort of like a second backup camera for me, or simply a travel snapshot camera. And I'm not sure about 17. I would like a 12mm lens though, and so that would be cool. I would like to have a 12mm f2 on slim body, and that would be something nice. I agree with you, Ken. I think it's an interesting proposition there. And Cliff, Hello, Cliff, and said before, say again, whether still Pen F2 with no creative style. I love that creative dial, but having said that, I would like to be able to customize that dial though, so that will be good. If I can customize the front dial, that will make my life a lot easier. But even that now, I'm quite happy with the dial because I always turn it to the mono mode, and it's nice. It's a nice thing to have. I like the mode dial in the front. Actually cool. Let's go up here. And Jack, hello. I want a Micro Four Thirds camera that is dead cheap, has unlimited resolution, Photoshop built-in, can make phone calls and make me a coffee. Built-in fast Leica prime lens ranging from 7 to 400. And more importantly, it's as thin as the iPhone, right? Or smartphone. You can dream. I can dream. That's the dream camera, right? That's what we talk about, a dream camera. Wouldn't that be good to have something like that? And yeah, only costs about $200. John, a slow shutter speed video camera. Oh, I'm not sure whether you are replying to me or you're replying to someone else. Come back to that in a minute. David Crooks, hello Dave. And so E1 Mark III does 120 video. I think you talk about slow-mo. You probably reply to someone else. It does do 120 frame at 1080. It's actually not bad. It's not too bad. And I do sometimes use that option for some B-roll, very quick B-roll. It was really fun, you know, to have 120 frame. Although I know the envelope's been pushed now, you know, there are cameras now can do 240, and the upcoming next generations of cameras are going to do minimum 240 and up to 460. I know some cameras already can do 960. Sony camera can do 960, which is like crazy. It's unusable because like a second it suddenly become like 5 minutes long video footage. it's too slow for me, and but some people might like that, and it's interesting. It's fun to watch actually. And Mark, hello Mark. I would like to same video out option for photo mode as for video mode, so you can get clean video out on the phone. Photo mode for session recording. Ah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. For clean video out, I think that there are only 3 cameras, or no, 4 cameras in Olympus can do that at the moment. The EM1 Mark III, EM1X, EM1 Mark II, and the EM5 Mark III, and are capable of doing clean HDMI output for doing what you just did. So they do exist, and I do use the option for my streaming, for instance, because you do need the clean HDMI out to be able to do the wireless streaming that I was talking about. You need that. So so they do exist in the Olympus world. Thank God for that, because I wouldn't be able to do what I do today. So and Hart, hello Hart. I want Android phone with EM5 Mark II spec on the camera end. Oh wow, wow. I think people are getting into smartphone now, right? You know, you're going back to smartphone. Just joking. I shoot with smartphone too. So, okay, Randy, what would be really cool is an Olympus camera with Android with cell phone capabilities. Oh, wow. All of you guys suddenly talk about smartphone stuff in the camera. Is that the next trend that I'm not aware about? I'm not entirely sure whether I would like to have a cell phone in the camera. You know, I'm not entirely sure whether it's a good thing or not, because first of all, I don't like a camera have a giant screen at the back for touchscreen. For, you know, I still much prefer physical dials and buttons. You know, I can wear gloves and still feel something when I'm operating cameras. But that's me. You know, if you guys happy with touch interface on the Android phone, then that's of course is something different. And but I personally still prefer the like really tactile feeling of the buttons and dials, and especially the joystick of the latest cameras. I still prefer that over simple like touchy thing. Okay. George is saying that I love the EM1 Mark III, but doesn't allow saving videos. I do know that. I'm hoping they're going to change that in firmware updates, and they can save video settings in one of the custom modes. I do agree. I would love to have that, because it will be easier for content creators who shoot both stills and video, and just by turning the dial to one of the custom mode, you can revert back to video, previous video settings. You don't have to readjust everything. Wouldn't that be great, right? So, but I'm pretty sure I fed that back already to Olympus. Hopefully they will implement it at some point, and I hopefully it will become a reality in the next, maybe next 2 firmware updates. I'm not entirely sure, but hopefully it will come, because it's quite annoying. I do understand what you're saying about the video settings not being saved in custom mode. Okay, hello. Ooh, sound back. Have I got sound problem? No sound. Someone saying no sound. Audio went out. Oh, I can see the sound bar is going though. So okay, no, you didn't miss anything. Don't worry about it. And oh, right, okay. Hey Jimmy, what would you recommend? What are your thoughts between the Pen F and Leica CL? I'm surprised there aren't really any comparison online. Right, first of all, I have used both. I don't own the Leica CL. I used to be very close to Leica, as you can kind of imagine my position, and I used to use a lot of camera gears, Leica camera gear, so I'm quite close to them. But ever since I became an Olympus guy, and then I kind of communicating less and less, so I don't have the same relationship with them anymore, and some of the personnel did change over time, so as well, so I lost some of the contacts there. So but I did got invited to the CL launch. I used the CL for a little bit, but I was unable to actually get a CL out to actually do like thorough testing and things like that. But out of the experience that I've used the CL and the Pen F, apart from the EVF, which is definitely more advanced with the CL, I actually prefer the Pen F. And for both the ergonomics, the weight, the size, and listen, build quality. I actually do prefer the build quality coming out from the Pen F than the Leica CL. I don't know why. It feels that the CL just isn't as well made as the Leica M series, because the M is really like proper tank. The CL is. It's just somehow it's just slightly less than that, and it's certainly not as solid as the Pen F in terms of feel. All the buttons and dials just lacking a little bit. I'm not saying it's a bad camera. It's actually pretty good. It's an APS-C camera, and but then again, in terms of like performance per cost, you can't beat the Pen F. The Pen F is way cheaper than the CL. The CL bodies alone is about 1,800 quid, I think it was, or something like 18 or 2,000. I'm not entirely sure the latest prices now. But the lenses, if you want to get the actual CL lenses, they are extremely expensive. You know, you talk about Leica lenses, so they are I don't know, 1,500 quid, 2,000 pounds minimum for Summilux, and you know, for that matter, you can get 2 or 3 Pro lenses for that price. And I would rather have the Pen F, so I can have the entire system on the go instantly without having to, you know, buy just one camera, one lens, and have to save up to get another lens. So there's something I always say about Leica, and I mean, I appreciate them. I do like the optics; they're phenomenal. But sometimes I think they're just a little bit overcharging people, and it's just a little bit more expensive than I would like to, especially judging from the capability side of it and image quality, and not about the lenses, but the sensor technologies. They are just not really worth commanding that sort of premium. They are really selling the badge and the heritage coming from the Leica. I mean, unless it's an M. M is different though, but because the M does involve a lot of hand assemblies. It's definitely way more mechanical than a CL, which is just a normal digital camera. In my eyes, it's just normal digital cameras. So I think that the Pen F is definitely, in terms of design and everything else, deserve way more credits than the CL. And so yeah, there you go. That's my thought about the CL. Andrews, so hello, and an EM5 Mark IV with EM1 Mark IV features, and but the EM10 Mark III price. But in reality, EM1 Mark IV with a backlit sensor, long-lasting battery, and tight smartphone integration would be great. I think I can guess a sense of common themes is going on now. You guys want to have some kind of integration between the camera and the smartphone. Either it's going to be a direct integration into the camera or via some sort of newly developed apps, which I think The former, probably unlikely. I don't think Olympus would ever going to integrate a phone into the camera, but the latter, very possible. They already have the OI Share app, which I think needs some sort of updating and to enhance the capabilities of the newer generations of cameras. Because at the moment, the OI Share app is definitely lagging in terms of features. For instance, all the Olympus cameras now can shoot 4K. And the OI Share app is still restricted to 1080 only, and only at 25 or 30 frames per second. So you can't even do 60 or 50. And also there are a lot of settings that's being limited in the app as well. So I would like some sort of update to kind of bring it in line with the modern day technologies that the newer cameras has. So it will be a shame not to have an accompanying app that can do that. So with that said, you know, I'm hoping that will get updated. Will be a tighter integration, like you said, having to be able to stream the images you capture wirelessly tethered to the smartphone. You can share it out straight away, or even edit it straight away with raw editing capability. So that will be quite amazing, right? Wouldn't that be good? I think that would be really, really good. Okay, I see another one here. And John, hello, M1X2, new sensor, 30 plus megapixel, improved autofocus, especially AI learning for wildlife, and improved dynamic range and lower noise on high ISO. Right, okay. Some bits, yes, I think that is a fair comment. And once again, about megapixels, and if 30 plus megapixels is what you need, and I think that will be your dream, and that's fair. I am still happy 20, maybe 24. You know, I'm happy with this sort of range. I don't need more than that. But like I said earlier, you saw my I don't know if you saw my Sharp demonstration earlier, because Sharp has announced they are still developing their 8K camera. The 8K camera means that you are able to have 33 megapixel. Because in order to have an 8K video camera, you need a high resolution sensor, which 20 megapixel just doesn't satisfy that. So you will need a minimum of 33 megapixel to produce an 8K video. So this is exciting now, because they are already saying they're developing it. They already have a sensor that is working with an 8K video feed on the Micro Four Thirds platform. So that could mean something in the Micro Four Thirds world, and that also mean that something is coming our way. And I'm super excited about this, you know. And we, like I mentioned earlier, we don't know how long it would take Olympus or Panasonic, for that matter, to adopt the high resolution sensor, and we don't know. And it's just something we hope that it will be sooner than later. But however, as a technology point of view, especially for Micro Four Thirds world, it's an encouraging news. And also seeing a camera system there, a company are investing and also developing newer techs for the Micro Four Thirds platform. And this is certainly something that we all of us are looking forward to. You know, it's been a while since we see a newer sensor development in this sort of regards, and that's something I believe would mean a lot to a lot of people, a lot of doubters out there who think Micro Four Thirds is dead completely. You can see that Sharp is still investing in it, Sharp is still developing in it, and they're already saying that this camera is going to come out at some point. They're in development, and they're already showing you the mock-up. So this is something I think it says a lot. This platform is far from being dead, and is still a very viable and very versatile system, and a platform and a format that we all really enjoyed. Hello Jim, and EM10 Mark III bigger sensor, mic jack, compatible external battery. Are you talking about, like, more specifically about USB-C charging or something similar? Bigger sensor. I don't think we need bigger sensor. Micro Four Thirds is fine. If you start look at bigger sensor, it becomes an APS-C camera, or maybe even full frame, and that would be your dream. So that would be interesting if they have something like that. I can see that they may be able to produce something look like a original OM film camera, you know, because it's technologically possible now. You see the size of the full frame mirrorless cameras these days. They are relatively compact. But having said that, unless you are happy with menu focusing on the full frame system, lenses are never going to be small, unfortunately, because you do need certain size of the lenses for the light to hit the sensor. You know, the back element has to cover the sensor, so it's going to be big. It's not going to be as small as the Micro Four Thirds lenses, that's for sure. And but you know, if it's a manual focusing lens, it can be small. But if you want autofocus, unfortunately, it's going to be huge. You're going to be any full frame. You've seen the full frame lenses, autofocus lenses. They are massive, regardless of how you look at it. Sony, Canon, Pentax, Nikon, Panasonic, even bigger. So all the full frame lenses are going to be even double the price, weight and price. So like, I think to me, they are a little bit overkill. I mean, I came from full frame to here, and the reason I moved was because of the weight, the size, and the price. And you know, Micro Four Thirds does what I need to do. It makes money for what I do as a professional, and that's all I care, and it makes me happy as a photographer. I don't have to worry too much about things anymore, you know, like not only for my body, but also financially it's definitely helped, you know, compared to some of the newer full frame camera systems there. You know, if I need to reinvest into the full frame system, I need to pay easily 3 to 4 times the prices to get a body, a few lenses. You know, it's not going to be as cheap as Micro Four Thirds. So I think it's a capable and affordable system that makes a lot of people can enjoy photography, you know, actually enjoying it. Because when you're buying something, you know, buying something expensive, you don't have the same enjoyment. You know, at time of purchase, you probably get excited, but like the novelty will soon wear out, and you're probably facing some sort of regret. A lot of people do that, you know, when they buy very expensive stuff. It's like, oh, I just spent $6,000 on this system or camera body or the lens. Oh, I could have used this $6,000 for something else. And this is exactly what I said at the beginning of this stream, right? You know, I'd rather have a capable but lesser cameras or cheaper cameras, but spend more money and actually seeing the world, actually go and travel, enjoy photography, because you have a camera, not that you don't have a camera, it's just not as expensive, but you have a camera that's capable of capturing shots, but you're able to travel and actually travel to really nice locations, take the bloody shots. Then, you know, you spend all the money getting the most expensive camera you can get, but you're not able to travel out and see the world. And which one would you prefer? I would prefer to do the former. You know, I could go and have a cheaper cameras, you know, that I don't care what people say, as long as I can capture that shot. And also, remember, as also mentioned previously, even an EM10 can capture beautiful photos. You don't need the EM1X because they are aiming for pros who make money from it. But if you're not that type of person, if you're just into photography, it's your hobby, you know, EM10, EM5, they are great cameras. You can capture beautiful stuff with it. And in that case, you don't have to spend, you know, a lot of money. And the lenses are great. You know, you don't have to go for the pro lenses if you don't need weather seal, 1.2 aperture. You don't need all that. Then you just go for the premium lenses. They are very affordable. You can still go out and capture like absolute stunning photographs. How many times did I see some of you guys posting like amazing photos on Facebook groups and things like that? It just like properly eye-opening, you know, and stuff that you can do with just a simple camera and setup. And that is what I call inspiring. You know, this is something that I think a lot of the full frame people may not understand. I'm not trying to discriminate them by saying that, but just that because they are more careful, shallow depth of field, bokeh, ISO 2 million performance. You know, these are to me not really about photography. You know, like a photography is all about composition, lighting, storytelling, you know, the overall aesthetic. You know, it's a whole series of photos that you have to consider about. So for that, I really do appreciate all the Micro Four Thirds photographers, because they ignore what other people said and they become what they are today, and they are photographers. And I would consider them as photographers because they truly understand exactly how they use the equipment, and they are not trying to you know, being influenced by you know, others, you know, who constantly possibly, you know, I'm just saying because people had told me that. I personally experienced that as well. Because I use smaller cameras at wedding, and I do get some negative comments sometimes from Uncle A and Uncle B in the weddings because they had a bigger cameras than I am. But this is something I always stress to people, that don't worry about what other people say. You know, ultimately your picture talks more than anything else. And like an example that I gave, some of you guys may have heard me saying a couple of weeks ago, a bride told me after the wedding, saying that some of the uncles and auntie were complaining or not complain, but they were saying that I use a toy cameras and I'm not a professional because I just use the smaller cameras. But then the bride really got a little bit animated, talked back to the uncles and aunties saying that, look, go to his website, check his work. You know, have you seen his portfolio? I mean, I've seen everything. I've seen a printed album from Jimmy. You know, like he's done a phenomenal job. Have you seen his photo? You know, it's not the gear. You know, he can capture something that you can't. She even gone as far as that. But I really appreciate it. You know, she didn't really have to defend me, to be quite honest. But then she did, and but she told me about it afterward and saying that, you know, ultimately she paid me for my creativity, my eyes, and how I storytell their whole wedding. And this is what you are charging the client for, right? They're not charging per megapixel. If they're charging per megapixel, that's the wrong client, or you know, they're looking for the wrong photographer. So this is something that I really genuinely happy that I finally realized in the Micro Four Thirds community that how many of you are actually are like that, you know, like completely ignoring what other people say. They're happy as a photographer using the gears to the full potential of what is capable of or what is made for. And this is something I'm really proud as a Micro Four Thirds photographer. Not so much about being in a minor community or something like that, or trying to discriminate bigger format. Like I said, we are no enemies there. You know, we're all creative, we're all photographers out there. You know, I'm happy with other people. I talk to other ambassadors from other brands, whether it's full frame or medium format. We are all friends. You know, we never really talk down on anybody. We just talk about photographs most of the time. But obviously that's a different world out there. You know, to a lot of consumers, they have different views. You know, as you can see that there are trollers in my Facebook, yeah, trollers on my YouTube who constantly talk down on me, you know, saying that, you know, I talk rubbish and this and that. But you know, I ignore these people, I ignore these comments a lot of the time, and I just want to be myself. And as you can see, if you see me in real person, I talk like this. And there is no difference whatsoever. I still smile like this, I still talk fast, I still talk rubbish, kind of. And but anyway, hopefully I've got enough rubbish talking now. Anyway, I'll just let's go back to some of the comments here and see what you guys say. Oh, okay, just see your comments there. Thanks, Jimmy. I'm in rehabilitation center now, keeping fighting. Photography helping me more than official therapies. Well, I genuinely good luck, and I really hope that you get well soon. I know that it's a big thing, and so I'm not trying to talk anything, but I do wish you all the best, and I hope that photography will help you, and especially now you've got Olympus helping you on your side as well. And yeah, I wish you nothing but the best, and yeah, enjoy your new toy and enjoy your photography. Hopefully that this journey will keep you motivated for the foreseeable future. So I hope you keep coming back as well, and we welcome you here. And yeah, hopefully one day, like I mentioned to all of you here, we'll be able to meet in person, and we'll do a photo walk together, we'll do something fun together, and that will be something I truly would hope will happen one day, wherever you are. So that will be really, really cool. Okay, let's see hard. And ooh, EM1 Mark III is so close to perfect as I may want right now. It is a really good camera. I mean, I do love this, the EM1 Mark III. I know it looks like a minor update to the Mark II, but it's a lot of things gone under the skin that people may not actually realize. First of all, is the processor is definitely way more powerful than the TruePic 8. The TruePic 9 is phenomenal, considering what it's capable of doing compared to a dual TruePic 8 on the EM1X. It can almost do what the EM1X does, minus the AI subject tracking. That means that processor is so powerful that it's 1 equal to 2. You know, it's actually a pretty powerful thing. So the EM1 Mark III is actually way more than you can see from the outside. So I love it. I use the EM1 Mark III a lot these days, and especially at home. I do a lot of filming, B-rolls and things like using that. Even when I head out to test gears, I use the EM1 Mark III more than my EM1X at this moment in time. But when I go back out to work, whenever my work comes back, and I'll use the EM1X again, because that's the sorry, I can't say it. reliability and issue. So the E1X to me is still a more rugged camera by build. It's definitely, you can't take that away. The E1X is built for professional. So I will still use that as my working tool. But generally, if I walk around doing some B-rolls, doing my YouTube videos and things like that, I'll use the E1 Mark III just because it's lighter. You know, you just have to, you know, having a heavy bag and things like that. So it's nicer to have, and it's really good. It's very, very capable for sure. And oh, Jim is asking, is an Olympus Cine camera would be cool. Do any exist? Not at this moment in time. In the past, they had some experiments to have medium format cameras. They also had other unique cameras than they used to develop, but I don't think they exist now if we speak to it now. What you see is basically what we have on the table, usually just the OMD lines and the Pen EPL line systems. So it's more that, and the TG, yes, and the TG. And of course the hospital stuff, the endoscope thing. And no, they don't have a Cine cameras. Wouldn't that be great? I think I would buy into the cinema system. Since I shoot videos now, it would be good to have a Cine system. Okay, let's I'm just gonna do that. Oh, Randy, you just got the Air A01. Did you get it? Did you get it on eBay? How much did you pay for it? I would like to see one. I would like to play with one. It's actually quite cool, right? And oh, sorry, I just saw another message here. Sorry for trolling, but I have to mention Kowa too, since they donated me a 12 mm lens, and when I told them I lost my job after getting cancer. And oh man, bless you, man, bless you. I really, really, you know, I know it's tough. I know it's tough, but I hope that you find a new love in photography, and we are all here for you. I guarantee that I'm here for you. If you have any trouble using your camera gears, let me know. If you want some inspiration, you want to talk to me personally about photography, message me. I've got my link in here, so you can check out my Instagram. You can message me. Like I said, I'm easy to get hold of, so just message me, and I'm really happy to help you in photography and anything like that. So yeah, just like I said, all the best. I wish you nothing but the best. Okay, Randy said I use the Air A01 with cell phone and big. Did you do that? Oh, now you make me want to get the A01 now. I really want to try to get one on eBay now, see if I can find one. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be cool. That would be really cool. I would like to try that. I would like to try that. Now you make me want to try one now. Okay, I'm gonna spend my next day or two trying to find a good copy of a A01 now. And Hot Pix is saying that Olympus version of GH5S with IBIS. It's a very video-centric camera. At the moment, I think Olympus is still very photographic-centric, and even though I personally believe that they are starting to move into the video more seriously, and that's for sure, judging by the effort they're making over the past couple of years, and I can see that because I've been talking with them a lot about video features. So I'm pretty sure they are now having a more focus or more emphasis on some of the video features now, which is a good thing. So like you never say no. Maybe one day that will come, and I would like to see a more capable video options from Olympus, because it will make it a genuine hybrid cameras that will satisfy both worlds. And at the moment, we know that photographically they are basically a beast. That is a phenomenal still cameras, and I'm really hoping that they can utilize that strength into video as well, and that will make the Olympus camera a genuine, like great cameras for many people out there, and I'm waiting to see that happen. That would be really cool. Let's see that. Oh, I dream on the 8-25 f4 Pro threaded glass to match with the E1 Mark III and a live ND until September the 10th. Plus a GND and an inverse grad. Ooh, okay, all right. You got a lot there going on, mate. Are you doing landscape? Sounds like you do a lot of landscape stuff. So yeah, that sounds a pretty cool setup there. That would be great. And Tang, oh hello Tang. And there's actually Android-based camera right now. It's called the, yeah, I heard about that, and I think I kind of Googled it a little bit. I haven't played with it, and so I don't know how good it is, or how fluent in terms of operations. So it might be interesting to see when I have a chance to play with it. I was hoping to see some genuine cool stuff at this year's TPS, the photography show in the UK, because usually they have a lot of exhibitors showcasing a lot of different camera equipments. I'll be able to play with some of them. Maybe I'll get in contact with them. Hopefully I get review samples of them. And but no, it didn't happen this year, so I have to wait until next year. And hopefully there'll be even more stuff next year. So that will be cool, and I can't wait for that. Andrew, hello. I don't think it would work to have smartphone internals in camera due to camera hardware outlasting smartphone in terms of how often you update. Very true, very true. And also, I do also find that a lot of cases in terms of smartphone is that I'm not an Android guy, I'm more an iOS guy. But then, if you look at it, a lot of the smartphones, do you notice that every time they upgrade the OS and each version, then the phone will get slower. And because they stuck more thing to it, I don't know why, and then everything just gets slower every single time you update something. So this is something I don't like to see happen in the camera, especially when it comes to photography or any creative stuff. Speed is quite important. You don't really want to have a very laggy interfaces, you know, and you really want to just basically pick up, do a setting, you know, a couple of things, and then just press the shutter button and snap away. You don't really want to mess around with the speed in terms of the overall OS, because I don't think even in today's smartphone world they're fast enough for that sort of thing. And I mean, I play with not only I have the iPhone, but I also have my brother who uses Android. He does use Android, so he has the latest stuff as well. And I play with his camera, my camera. I still think that it's just not as fast as I would like it to be when it comes to creative stuff. And I still find it just a tad slow. So like if you're genuine, know how to use the camera, you know how quick you can operate something, right? You just a couple of buttons here, custom setting, dang, bang, you can go and snap straight away. And this is something you can't do with a smartphone, unfortunately, especially with the interface that they have. And so I don't think it'll be very genuine good integrations there. I mean, unless you have time to play with, if you're an amateur who don't need to capture something like really critical, that may be okay. You have time to kind of scroll around, do the menu, this and that, is maybe okay for that. But for me, speed, I need to capture that moment. I need to capture thing. I need to change scene like for split second, and I can't afford to miss that. And that in that case, smartphone interface would be too slow for that application. And but you never know, maybe in 10 years time, 5 years time, you know, technology is moving really fast now, especially in the smartphone world. Maybe it will become a lot quicker in a few years. So yeah, something that I can't foresee, unfortunately, because I know technology is moving though. It's going to be something to look forward to, especially Apple is moving quite quick in terms of the processor design. So it's something to also look forward to as a tech geek myself. Phoenix, I think a camera with interchangeable lenses that can stream straight into the internet for YouTube would be a big sale these days. I do actually agree with what you just said. I do. You know, wouldn't it be great to have a camera like doing what I'm doing now, but straight to the internet without having to bloody connecting to the camera, to the computers and everything? That would be awesome, right? Smartphone can do that, so that's why I can kind of see the appeal there. And then wow, that will be something, right? And but then obviously, if you want to do that, it's a lot going on. Like a lot of you already suggest that you need an proper OS in the camera to do that. But then I guess it's depending what sort of niche you are. You know, primarily if you're only doing content creation, YouTubing and streaming, and that will be your dream cameras. Like I said, you know, depending on your needs. So that will be something to behold. I'm going to scroll through a little bit quicker for the next couple of things, and then I was going to show you something actually. Ooh, it's actually running out of battery for my other camera. So, oh, Camille, hello there. Oh, you're traveling from Denmark. Hello, thank you for joining. And Camille is also a regular here. So, oh, you're traveling now. So how is the travel? Is it okay within Europe now? And I know they open up the border, so you don't have to stop at anything like that. You don't have to get quarantined, right? You're just gonna just go straight through, and I can't wait to go back, you know, just on the road again. But I'm still a little bit skeptical of going out for some reasons. Dream Camera will be EM1X with the new firmware, face detect and tracking, and on the EM1 Mark III. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. I can't wait to see the new firmware on the EM1X, because obviously you can now capture bird in flight. That would be amazing, right? You know, I think that would be cool. Even though I'm not a bird photographer, but every now and then I like to capture pigeons, so that's something that I would like to do. And that would be something I would like to try. I would like to try that. Yeah. Hippie Lie, hello Hippie. And Android is pretty power consuming. I'm not a fan of touch for photo taking. I think you're not on the same page in a way. And I don't think so. I don't like touch photo taking. And then I'm not so sure about power consuming. I'm not an Android guy, but like I said, I think the mobile OSs, you know, they are still laggy, you know, in terms of real-time operations, and I still much prefer a hardwire buttons and dials, so you can like really take advantage of the speed that you can operate a tool for you, especially if you want to create something like for critical timing. So that will be really something. And hello there. And it would be great if Olympus come back to its decision to stop making underwater housing. Oh, excellent quality. I know that. And then one of my projects this year is supposed to go to Greenland and to document an artist is going to be diving in the water, and she has to use the EM1 Mark II for that, because the Olympus actually didn't make a housing for the EM1 Mark III, which is a little bit of a disappointment for her, because she can't take advantage of the latest AF speed and also other operations with the EM1 Mark III. So she's restricted to using the EM1 Mark II because there's no housing for it, unless you get a custom house, which is going to cost you a bomb, right? And I know what you're saying, diving friend. And I'm not a diver myself, but I see a lot of amazing divers using Micro Four Thirds gears, because first of all, it's more portable, and you got the amazing 8mm 1.8 fisheye, right? And I know a lot of diving photographers like to use that lens because it's 1.8 aperture. It's just phenomenal in low light, so which is actually cool to get into underwater shots. And I've seen some amazing stuff as well, which is really looking for. I want to be a diver. Maybe as one day I will have time, I may train myself up into be a diver and do some underwater shots. I saw some of the footage that my artist friend did it when she was using the EM1 Mark II underwater. It's cool. It's really cool. And IP, thank you, great channel. Thank you very much. Dream Camera E1 Mark II, E1X Mark II with 24 megapixel global sensor and True Pic 9, a dual True Pic 9, new EVF 6K 24, 30, 4K 120. Woo! Actually, not bad, not bad. I actually think the pricing is actually pretty decent for that. And that's a good suggestion there. And global sensor, I'm not entirely sure. Talk about global sensor, I want to show you another thing. And not sure if it's actually there. Let me just see if I can open it up and let's see if I can get that out. And oh, sugar pics. Oh, Pixi, yes, there you go, Pixi. Right, okay, I'm going to share my screen again. This is something that you may be interested. I know not many people will buy it. So, okay, let me just go back to my screen sharing. So let me close you, sorry about that IP. And then, so this is the Pixi Cameras. It's a rangefinder cameras, M-mount rangefinder cameras. You may have heard of it. It's actually a French company making these cameras, and they are the first camera to actually release it using global shutter. Yes, this is the global shutter camera, and that means there is no actual physical shutter in the body, because it doesn't need it. It's a global shutter CMOS sensor. Having said that, the spec may be a little bit underwhelming for you guys because of the technologies that's currently available. Even though it's global shutter sensor, it only has 11 megapixel, and so But some of you said that, you know, 16, 12 is already enough, so 11 may not be far off. So if it's something that you really into, you may want to check out this camera. But having said that, it comes as a price, because these things are very bloody expensive. And look at that, 3,000 euro. Ooh, that's my heart, man. I need to sell my kidney for that. And but it's a pretty decent looking camera. Look at that. There's no screen. Because you utilize your phone. Yes, using your phone to do things for your screen. So you can't review any images unless you stream to your phone. That you can only basically use it as a film camera. Set your shutter speed, snap it, and that's it. You can't even see it. You don't even see anything. And a proper rangefinder camera using M lenses has a crop though. It's an APS-C CMOS sensor. So but it's a global center. If you're into technology, there you go. So if you come down here, you can see straight away. You can see that I'm highlighting the words here. Global electronic shutter. I'm gonna get it bigger, and you see. Global electronic shutter. There. So tech guy, geek guys, there you go. First global electronic shutter camera is available to purchase if you have $3,000. So there you go, mate. And if you're into the latest stuff, you have to pay for it. But let's go back to your thing here. And I think a lot of people would like to see some sort of new tech on the sensor, but so far I haven't seen any companies actually utilizing global sensor apart from that particular Pixi cameras there. And you can also see that the resolution is just not as high as you might expect, simply because the technologies I think currently available or currently feasible. So don't expect any high resolution stuff coming up from global shutter just as yet. You may have to wait a few more years for the technology to mature. If you want some global sensor, you might have to shrink it down to 10 or 11 megapixel. And also, that's an APS-C sensor size, yeah? If you're micro four third, you probably have to shrink it down to about 6 to 8 megapixel quality. I don't entirely sure that would happen. So you may as well forget about global shutter for now and wait until the technology is kind of really mature, so you can really see some high resolution global sensor capable sensor to be developed, and you can really employ into different applications, different sensor sizes, full frame, medium format, and also micro four third. So it's nice, it's exciting. It's exciting about new tech, like I said earlier. Sharp's 8K camera, 33 megapixel CMOS sensor. That will be something that, you know, for me is more approachable, more genuine is coming. And global shutter, the technology is here now, but you can see it currently has limitations in terms of resolutions and stuff like that. It's definitely high dynamic range though. It's got 12, I think it's 13 to 14 stops of dynamic range. So it's a capable sensor, just not with the resolution that you may hope for. And so I think it can be fairly interesting in the future. The future is bright. The future is you, the photographers out there. Jan, hello there. And Jan Garcia, I don't think high-res sensor makes so much sense, especially having handheld high-res shots. Regular high-res shots is much better to have better dynamic range and ISO along with improved AF. And I'm missing another one. And AI autofocus features and computational photography improvements. Ooh, you are really reading the micro four third stuff, isn't it? Yes, I do believe that is very true. With the high-res stuff, you really don't need a lot of the high megapixel count sensors. And I personally, like I said, I personally like the 20 that I have now. I don't need more than 20, unless I really want to crop stuff. But if you really want to crop stuff, why don't I use a longer lens in the first place? I mean, unless I just struggle to buy the lens that I need for that particular focal length. But otherwise, man, I prefer to use real glass to real reach, physical zoom range or physical focal length that I need to capture the distance, and rather than cropping it in. So I think you're quite right there. But I don't need high megapixel. If you really need it, there is a high-res shot that we can employ now with the latest Olympus cameras. The handheld high-res is actually pretty cool. Computational photography, also very fantastic. Oh, Robin Wong is in the house. Hello, Robin. And it's definitely really cool about Olympus computation photography, the live ND, you know, you know, what I'm saying now, live bulb, light composite, they're all computation photography. They're fantastic features that everybody uses. Even now other companies are starting to catch on now. Panasonic also has some sort of live composite things now. So it's interesting to see all these really great ideas being copied around, and I like to use the word copy. And yeah, so it's fun to see, you know, someone invented something and being so popular that other people trying to do the same thing. And IBIS is also another great thing that Olympus invented, and also now being popularized to the extent that every single manufacturer will have an IBIS. So that's cool, and that shows the significance of Olympus. They're really great stuff there. They really done good in the photographic community, and also in general creative community, because they allow a lot of the artists doing their job a lot easier. A lot of the people who may not have the technical competence to do certain things, but now they have some sort of computation photography to help them out to do that. By saying that, personally, like I said, I'm not a nighttime photographer doing long exposure shots, but with the live composite, it makes my guesswork just a lot less. You know, I don't have to guess anymore. I just see these stuff building up in the screen, and just phenomenal. You know, like I enjoy that process, and now it makes photography fun. And I do really genuinely happy about, you know, being fun. You know, photography is all about fun, right? You don't want to be, even though like it's a job for me, but I need to have fun, right? You know, how can I possibly work as a photographer and a video filmmaker, you know, constantly, hours and hours a day, and then every single day, 365 days a year? How can I possibly do that if I can't have fun? I think that this is the message there about, you know, using gears and being really connecting to you, have features that really enable you to do so. Is definitely something that I would praise Olympus giving, really allowing me to do just that, and I think really cool. Wow. So first of all, welcome. Robin Wong is in the house, and he's the happiest photographer. I think that's what Peter Force, no, Rob Track said that in one of your videos. Right? I read that comment, right? I do read that comment, so I did see that, Robin. And okay, so Robin, of course, if you don't know him, he's a great guy. He's a great Micro Four Thirds Olympus ambassadors in Malaysia. So he's a very cool guy. He's a great channel, doing a lot of tutorial, talk about setup cameras and things like that. I learned a lot from this guy. The very genuine cool dude there. Yeah, if you haven't checked his channel out, I do, you know, urge you to go and check his channel out and subscribe to his channel. He's got great contents there, 2 days a week, I believe. And I love his channel. It's really good. It's grown like so well over the year, and I think, you know, he's one of the best out there. You know, go and check him out. He's a really fun guy to be with. Let's go back to my thing today now, and let's go and see. Oh, hello Anastasia, and just noticed your comment here. Great support, and it's very late early in Malaysia. Welcome you back here, mate. Welcome you back. So Robin's here. I agree with Jimmy in terms of sufficiency. Olympus Micro Four Thirds is more than enough to deliver fantastic images and more. Yes, and I said it many times. You really can do a lot with the Olympus camera or Micro Four Thirds cameras, and in general as a platform. It does allow you to do more that people may not actually realize, because we may tout about this size and weight of the Micro Four Thirds system, but in reality, a size and weight issues can be significant for lots of people out there. Like I already stressed to a lot of you may have heard me saying that again and again and again over the last few weeks. People who are less able, people who may not be able to hold heavier and bigger gears, this is it. Micro Four Thirds will allow you to do that because it's lighter, it's more capable, it's got IBIS, it's got a lot of things that will help you capture the photos even though you're less able. So it really is a great system for many people that people don't genuinely associating in photography, because they just think, oh, we're just taking photographs. But like normal human being, like in the normal world, you know, there are different people out there. There are different photographers, female, male, young, old, you know, able, disabled. You know, like you have a lot of photographers out there, but not everybody's equal. Not everybody can handle certain cameras because they may be too big or bulky. They may be certain this and that, more expensive than that. So we have options, and Micro Four Thirds does provide you the options and that some of these photographers may not be able to utilize, in other system, in other formats. But now they have Micro Four Thirds, and they are truly happy. I can see that they're utilizing these systems and continue their photographic journey. And that is something I'm really proud of, being a photographer here and learning about you guys, learning about all your passions in the photography. And now you're telling me about great stories and great journey about using your Micro Four Thirds gears and Olympus cameras. And that alone makes me really happy and gives me a lot of energy to continue doing a lot of photographies stuff and videos and like these live stream, for instance. I can talk to you guys like in a more one-to-one level, and this is phenomenal. This is really, really cool. And okay, let's see Andrews there. Jim, oh, I think you're responding to another person there. Sorry about that. I saw Jim, I thought you talked about me. Okay, great. DREAM camera will have an unlimited dynamic range sensor with no noise and variable optical layers, so no lenses are required for wide array focal length and light conditions. I love you guys, man. I really do love you guys. You guys can generate some cool ideas out there. Like, how about, we form some sort of alliance here, and maybe we do hopefully we can get some more engineers in together, so we can maybe do a Kickstarter campaign and generate a new system, a new camera that will allow you to do that. That would be cool. I guarantee that camera will sell if we can invent something like this. That would be amazing, right? Oh, that makes me laugh. That was good. That was good. Hey, let's see then. Moses, hello there. Totally agree with your points now. Photography is not dynamic ranging and is to be inspired to shoot. Yes, it absolutely. And I'm nearly catching up. That's very good. Robin here, very true. At Red Photography, it is all about photography, especially wedding. It is the skills, artistic visions of the photographer that makes the shots, not gear, and the storytelling too. Yeah, definitely. Mark here, since we're dreaming of a 6 to 600mm f2.8 Pro, which would probably be the size of my arm, I guarantee if there's a 6 to 600 at 2.8, it's going to be more than your arm. It's going to be a truck. Regardless whether it's a Micro Four Thirds or not, it's going to be huge, that thing. Like 6 to 600, imagine that. At 2.8. And don't forget, talk about that argument, 600mm lens is still going to be 600mm, so it's still going to be big, and so it will be something, right? It's for 6 to 600. Have you ever seen that Sigma lens? The was it the 150? No, 250 to 600mm. The big bazooka lens, the green one, really massive. I think it was 25 kilogram weight. So you need 2 tripods to actually hold the lens together. That Sigma lens costs about 15,000 or 18,000 pounds. It's quite a few years ago now. I can't remember. And I still want to see that lens. I haven't seen it in real life. Only seen it in picture. And that is something, right? If I ever have that money, I probably would collect that lens just to see. Wow, that is a optical design achievement, and similarly to the upcoming Olympus 150 to 400 Pro lens, I really want to get that lens. You guys saw my reaction last week. I want to lick that lens. I really do want to lick that lens, and that is a lens I think for Micro Four Thirds will be an achievement for optical designs alone. It's 150 to 400 with a 1.25 built-in converter, and you can still use MC14 and MC20 on top of that. That lens is going to be a beast. Full stop. I said enough. I'm going to get that bloody lens, man. Olympus, bring it out. I want it now. And cool. Right. Oh, thank you, Pei. Regularly watching my channel, and thank you. To be quite honest, as I know that a lot of you guys don't comment a lot on my videos, but I know you guys are watching. So as long as you say you appreciate it, I'm more than happy. And like I said, I love. I've been so fortunate to have all your supports here. Pei, all the others here, been listening to me all these months now. Been doing live stream. It's just amazing to see you coming in back here regularly. Every week, without fail, is something that I'm touched. You know, I'm genuinely tired. I could really cry now if I want to, but I'm trying to hold back. It's emotional for me to have that sort of support, simply because I can't really produce videos as much as I want to these days, because of my family here, all full time, and it just. 2020 is a messed up year for me, and a lot of my work's gone away. It's not easy as a father with twins at home, and losing you know, most of my pay jobs this year is definitely not an easy feeling, so to speak. And still trying to maintain creativity, you know, to continue my projects and to continue my YouTube channel is tough, you know. But having to be able to finally see the support that I can see in real time is something that I really cannot say more thank you than that. And I think you guys really gave me the energy to continue this channel, and this is really from the bottom of my heart. You know, I can see that I really would like to push more videos out, but I really simply physically can't do it. And I know I have a couple of coming out, you know, this Sunday and next week, but it is hard work, you know, for me to try to squeeze out that time here to film in my back garden, and during lockdown, and also trying to edit when my twins are screaming at me for food, and it's tough out there. You know, a lot of the time I have to work until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and it's hard work. It's hard work. That I wake up the next morning, 7 o'clock again, the whole thing runs again, and it is something that I don't seem to say it to a lot of people, because they don't see me working, and it's something hard, you know, and I can tell you that. So I can't really wait until this pandemic thing is over and I can get back to my normal life. Kids go back to school, and then they can get proper educations there, and I can finally kind of get back to my own self and starting to work again, more in a more kind of properly, in a more official figures. Yeah, that's something I would like to say. It's a big thank you for your support, and you being here is already enough for me. You don't have to do anything, but I'm just happy that you guys continue to be here and listening to me. This is something that I can't say more than that. Just phenomenal. So thank you for that. Whew, getting a bit emotional there. And oh, Shaka's here. Hello there. Hello. Why is there an Olympus advert at the start of your live stream? That's not an advert, actually. That's not an advert. That's just the video I created. That's the video that I made for a client, actually, last year. So I just wanted to show you at the beginning that film that I made was completely shot with EM1X and EM1 Mark II. So I just wanted to say that Olympus, not only they're great with photos, we all know that, but they're also great with videos, and I want to showcase that by showing you that clip there at the beginning. And you know, people are usually overlooking the video capabilities of Olympus cameras, but they are actually pretty good. And especially if you're a filmmaker, you really do know what you're doing, and you can easily use an Olympus camera and produce really stunning results. People are these days, because I know for a fact that Panasonic and other cameras like Blackmagic, they are more known in the video world. So people, when it comes to video makings, they're not likely to think about Olympus, and because they are just not built for the video world. But I can tell that that is changing, and Olympus is definitely getting more focused on the video side of it, and pumping into more research and development into video features. So I'm hoping that in the next few years that will change people's mind about Olympus using in the video side. As you can see that they are starting to change the adverts as well in the, since the EM5 Mark II. They're starting to tout about a lot more about video capabilities. So so this is, I know it's moving, and that it's definitely moving in the right direction, and hoping to see like a more capable video cameras coming up from Olympus. That will be really cool. That will make Olympus a genuine all-rounder. So that will satisfy not only just still photographers, but also videographers as well. That will be really, really amazing. I really want to share that camera out when that comes out. That would be really great. Okay, let's see if any other comments here. Christopher Martin, we need a cover for flat sockets and adapter fit Lego. Did you see my stop motion thing? Did you see my stop motion? I did play with the Lego a little bit. Oh yeah, I remember that. I didn't go to that particular photography show. And Christopher, you mentioned about the big giant Sigma lens. I missed it. I saw the picture afterward in one of the magazines, and yeah, it would be good. I would love to see that thing. I would love to play with it. I don't have 15 grand, 16 grand to pay for that lens though. That's not something that I can afford. But it will be good. It's a testament for design. I can see that. Oh, there you go. Someone found it. 200 to 500. Yeah, that's the lens. That's the lens. It's a bazooka. Yeah, that thing is huge. 15 grand. And frankly, for what it is, 15 grand isn't a lot. And in considering you have if you buy a pro Canon or Nikon like 800 millimeters lens, it probably costs that money anyway. You know, so that is actually okay price wise. Oh, Randy, thank you, thank you very much for your support. Yes, yeah, it's always going to be, you know, a little bit tough, in this sort of environment. Really is, you know, tough 2020, and I'm looking forward to 2021. I'm hoping everything is going to be back to normal very soon, and that's for sure. George, oops, sorry about my thing here. Let me move it up here. Sorry about my, sorry, Olympus mentioned they would provide more information in July. Do you know if a date has been set for the more information about their planned future? Well, as far as I know, is that new roadmap kind of says a lot on its own. In terms of the company future, I don't think that they're going to release anything until the actual agreement is signed at the end of September. So you still have to wait for a couple of months to see that. They wouldn't leak any information now because they haven't finalized anything. But in terms of future releases and development, the roadmap really says already. But that's obviously more to do with lenses, less so about camera departments. But I think that is going to be equally positive. So I'm very optimistic about the whole discussions at the moment. So hopefully I would, you know, like to share with you as soon as I hear some news. If I'm allowed to talk about it, then I'll talk about it. So wait for my announcement. Hopefully I'll see something, and then I'll let you know as soon as I hear. If you want the latest stuff, be sure to join me in the morning on Facebook, because obviously I do daily stream, so that will be more up-to-date thing, because I do talk about things more quicker on a daily stream, because I don't usually restrict myself on a schedule like YouTube, which I only do 2 a week. And so this is something that if you guys want to get some updates from me and more on a regular basis, even just want to maybe have a chat with me about photography things on a general basis, you don't have to wait for the live stream on Wednesday. You can talk to me every morning on Facebook, kind of London time morning. So wherever you have kind of what kind of time differences, but I'm there every morning between 11 to 11:30 ish kind of thing in the morning British time, so you can find me there very, very easily. Okay, let's see. I'm reaching the end. Yes. Cool. I am reaching the end of the comments. Fantastic. So that's great stuff here. Right. Okay. So I do want to show you one thing though, very quickly before my battery runs out. So it's this. Okay, this is one last thing I want to talk to you guys about, and talk about DREAM cameras. We never really talk about SD cards though. So how many of you use a fast SD card, so to speak? And I'll show you a few here because there are differences there. And I use primarily rugged cards or high-speed cards simply because of the jobs I do. If I shoot video especially, because video, when I shoot 4K, they do eat up the memory card fairly quickly. So I have a whole bunch of 64, 128 gig cards. And the reason is, I want to talk about it, is a lot of the time you have fast cameras. Yeah? You have a lot of fast cameras that can do burst rate and things like that. So many of you may not realize the reason of using a faster card, not only to clear the buffer when you do burst shooting, but also when you go back home and starting to download those photos from the memory card. And because for me, I shoot so much on a daily basis time is also money for me. And so the quicker I can download these things to my laptop to start processing them, the better. So these things does make a difference though. If you go back to the second cam there, and so that these two here, so you can see that the one is the normal Extreme Pro, which uses which only has, oh, it's too close now to the lens. So it's a 95 megabyte per second. It's a very, in the past, it's actually very quick, but now this is UHS-1, it's not UHS-2 card, so the max is 95, so it doesn't go faster than that. So when it comes to downloading it, it just takes forever. If you have a card filled 64 gig, it will take definitely about 10 minutes or so before you download everything. And but with this one, the 300 is 3 times faster. So like 4 to 5 minutes, I can download the full 64 gig data into my laptop and start processing it. So I do think that if you do need to shoot large all the time or shoot videos, I'm pretty sure you are fully aware of the faster memory cards, the benefit that it comes with it. I know it's more costly to buy, but it's definitely saves you a lot of time in long run. And secondly, about ruggedness, because okay. If you're looking about the, okay, for those who not understand about UHS-1 or UHS-2, there you go, these are the differences here. The UHS-1 has one line of contacts there at the top of the card, so this why is that you don't have the same bandwidth compared to the UHS-2 card, which has 2 lines of contacts, so it allows you to basically instantly doubling the bandwidth. So you can see straight away that is quite a bit of difference there. And I think that the faster card definitely worthwhile. But now let's talk about the ruggedness though. And I have a lot of UHS-2 card broke down before because of the fragileness of this roll of twin rows of contacts. So you can see how thin it is. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually very, very thin. And then so I find that a lot of the times I just get crushed if I put it accidentally drop it into a bag, and then it get crushed and bend the contacts and actually destroy the card. So this is the rugged cards now. You can get it from Manfrotto or Sony. I think there are some other companies making rugged cards now. They are actually thicker. Even they may not like it, but they're about 0.5 millimeters or 0.5 millimeter thicker. But that 0.5 millimeter actually makes a big difference in ruggedness. And I found that I did drop it and step on it, and it didn't bend at all. You can actually feel it. It's actually quite solid compared to the SanDisk. And price-wise, if you get for the Sony rugged SD card, it's more expensive than the normal SanDisk. But the Manfrotto is actually relatively affordable, and I do think that it's actually worthwhile checking that out. If you have a chance to see whether you can get it in your country, worth checking them out because it's actually pretty good there. In terms of speed, it's slightly slower than the SanDisk 300 meg. I think it's 280 megabyte per second instead of 300. So it's, you know, kind of 8% slower, but not by much. You can still download the photos damn quick from this thing. But it's ruggedness that I'm looking for, because I don't want to damage your card at the end of the day. Your data, your photo, your video is on this thing, this tiny little fragile thing. So you don't want it to damage and bend, or for whatever reason you lose it, right? So a rugged card is important, especially if you're a professional or very serious about your photography. When you go on abroad, like going traveling, you want to have a reliable card, and making sure that you can support, you know, the security of your data, right? You know, it's all about security there. And of course, one of my general practices is that once I've captured something, if I need to change the card because it's full, I would also back it up straight away. I usually carry a portable backup, like a not power bank, memory bank, photo memory bank. So I'll use that to back up my data instantly, so I get a second copy. I'll still keep the card though, unless I need to reuse it. I usually carry sufficient cards that I don't have to reuse the card. So I'll keep the card. Then I have a separate copy. So I have 2 copies at any one time of anything I just captured. So that's very important as a pro. So I need to make sure I have enough backups just in case I lose it, damage it, somehow something happened. You just don't know, right? The security is definitely paramount in my book. Okay, cool. Anyways, and thank you very much for joining me, and that is definitely 2 hours limit, and that I usually do for my live stream. If I continue talking, I'm pretty certain that I'll lose my voice. But I'm really happy, and once again, thank you for joining me, and I am super, like I mentioned, super happy about you guys following me here and listen to me once again on this very live stream here. I'm going to keep this going for the foreseeable future. I'm not going to change it. I think it's a great place to hang out, you know, with all of our friends here. I think we have a very friendly community and also a whole bunch of good friends here now talking to each other all the time, and that's a good vibe. It's like some of you guys said, it's a good vibe here. So I like that. I'll keep it going, right? So thank you again for joining me, and I'm not sure if Robin's still here. He's probably gone now, and so great. It's really good to be back. And if you want to see me tomorrow, I'm on Facebook again, and tomorrow and Friday, and next week I'm going to have a brand new topic once again. It could be slightly different, and let me know exactly what you want to hear, and that will be great. And you know, you never say never. So there's something that you suggested, I always take it up as a point and make it as a chat. Also make it as a video in the future. So it's up to you guys, you know. And I'm out here to have a great conversation about photography, Micro Four Thirds, and of course Olympus. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will speak again. I'll also look out for my community posts, and because I will usually bring up some conversations there, and that usually give me some idea about what I'm going to talk about for the following live stream, and it all helps out because it all depending on what you guys want to talk about, and I will adjust myself accordingly. And this is all about live chat, right? You know, this is all about live chat, and also about you know, building our relationship, you know, as friends, because we listen and also we want to talk about it. And thank you very much, and you guys keep well. Have a fantastic weekend if I don't see you tomorrow morning, and I'll see you next week, of course. Yeah, remember to come back. Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel or doing this, remember to do thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel and put on a bell notification so you won't miss a thing. And also, one reminder, this Sunday I'm gonna have a new video coming out, and so hope you guys will like it. But for the first time ever, I have a sponsor. I have a sponsor, so please bear with me to watch out watch the entire video, and if you know, you're happy to subscribe to their services and things like that, and there's no obligations there, of course. You just watch the video. That will be really helpful, and also they can see it's performing. So it's really good that, because any sponsors, anything like that, would definitely help me out and help the channel out. As I mentioned earlier, it's been a really tough year for me and the channel as well, is financially especially. So this is really great. Remember, this Sunday I'm going to have a video out. It will be a sponsor, so don't click it away because it's a bloody sponsor, because they do help me out in terms of paying me some money, and I'm really grateful for someone who actually look up on us and saying that we are worthwhile sponsoring. This is something that I truly appreciate, but I also truly appreciate your friendship, your support, and your attention. So thank you very much. So until next time, I will see you guys all, and have a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend, and remember, keep shooting, keep creative. Peace out.